Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights on a Friday, a rainy Friday, if you're in the tri-state area anyway.
Yep, very rainy. We need this though, because we're in a drought.
That's right.
Well, I don't think this is supposed to cover the totals that we need to be at, but we're on our way.
That's right. And I think it's raining again like Tuesday, but who
Yeah.
knows? Shout out to our listeners in Africa who don't care anything about this.
No.
But shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, listening, watching, subscribing. I am JD, aka P Who Pods. I almost forgot my own AKA. Uh, Glasses on today, so rear view mirror as well.
And I'm Dash, aka Dashing D, aka Cool Grandma, really, aka the real King of R&B, aka Hangry.
Uh-oh. We gotta make it quick then. 10-minute pod, y'all.
10-minute pod, You tell them not to put mayo on your sandwich, and they put mayo on your sandwich, and then you're left with nothing. It's
Oh no.
a wonderful time.
Those
Special
bastards.
day I'm having.
Sorry, Dash.
It happens. It happens. What baffled me was they gave an option to select mayo, and I did not select that option. And they put it anyway on a buildable sandwich, no less. It wasn't even like a pre-made sandwich. It was something that I created my own. I probably wouldn't have wanted it anyway. It was cold. But anyway,
I hope you got a refund.
I did. But I really
Good.
just wanted food the way that I wanted.
I
I
understand.
appreciate the refund, but sometimes it's like, I just really wanted my order.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway.
All right. Well, Katt Williams is ending the year with as big a
Wait,
bang.
hold on. Hold up a gosh darn second here. Okay, so I got distracted, and I don't know I distracted you, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
We have to address the fact that Kendrick Lamar
Snuck out an album.
snuck an album out today.
He did.
We didn't miss that. Just so you all know. We will cover his album on Monday. We didn't know it was coming out, so we were not prepared.
Right.
GNX, it is out. So we'll talk about it on Monday.
Yes. We need time to listen.
I made an announcement to a whole meeting of people at work. I don't know. It was it must have been because I was hangry, because normally I don't say personal things to people at work.
You told them Kendrick's album dropped?
Yeah, I did. Somebody said that they didn't want to come to the meeting, and I said, "Oh, was it because you were listening to Kendrick Lamar? The album did come out." And then everybody was like, "Oh, what did he do? What happened?" And I was like, "He dropped a surprise album on people." And
Sure did. Straight out of J. Cole's book in the middle of J. Cole's rollout.
well, listen, it's just big me. Anyway, please
Yep.
carry on. What did Katt Williams do?
By the way, just real quick, we can edit this out if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I told my child that Kendrick Lamar dropped an album
Uh-huh.
today. And they said, okay, let's make that our first album that we listen to on Tune Together.
Oh.
I said, oh, okay.
All right. We don't
Yeah.
even have to dive too deep on Monday then. All
Right.
Do your thing.
I said, man, I wish I knew sooner. I've already listened to most of it. They said, that's okay. We can still do it. I said, yes, we can.
There you go. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's
So I thought
exciting.
I'd share that with you.
Nice.
It can be edited out if you want. It doesn't
I
matter.
mean,
But yeah.
no reason to edit it out.
So okay. So Katt Williams is trying to end the year just as strong as he began it, in my opinion.
It was a strong start for him, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and apparently there's going to be a strong ending. So Katt Williams has purchased a former military base in Alabama where he's building his own movie studio. And so this comes from BET.com.
Hmm.
It says, in addition to his comedy career, Williams has shared plans to expand his empire. He recently purchased a former military base in Alabama where he intends to build his own movie studio, drawing inspiration from I don't know what word I was about to say there. Drawing inspiration from production giants like Donald Glover, 50 Cent, and Tyler Perry. Williams expressed, quote, "It's just not fair to put all that pressure on Tyler Perry. He can only do so much."
Funny.
I think that's really funny for mad reasons.
I think this is. I love this. I love that this is happening. I love that more Black celebrities are doing this.
Same.
That's really all I have to say about this. More, more of this, more of this, because all this is going to do is open up jobs in these cities that they're going to. It's
Yes.
going to create lanes for people who don't have a current path to go on right now.
Yep.
And I mean, just in terms of the culture diversifying its portfolio, I think that this is such a phenomenal thing. Everybody can't do it. Everybody can't afford to do it. But for those who can, I feel like this is a great way to not only give back to communities, but also give back to the arts. Um, Give back to the film industry. You know what I mean? Like, and again, create space where there isn't, or create. I know Atlanta has become a mecca for filmmaking and production. And I think that's amazing. But what about if there's a world where that expands beyond Hollywood, beyond
Yeah.
Atlanta, beyond Louisiana? Like, I just think it's a beautiful thing. So, you know, doesn't even matter how many books he can read at a time. What matters is that he's doing this. And this is great.
Couldn't help yourself.
Nope.
All right. I agree. I think this is great. I think this is super fly. You know, I think that, yeah, um, being a boss and opening up your own lane, opening up your own space where you can do the things you want to do and help others do the same. I think that's a beautiful thing. So I don't have anything bad to say about this. I just want to say, what a year for Katt Williams.
Yeah.
What a year.
Yeah. It's a great way to close out the year.
I agree.
And he'll still have time for books too.
Um, all right, let's head over to Louisiana, which you mentioned. Um, so I want to pull up the article so I can quote this properly. Um, but Louisiana, for a long time, had a film and television credit that they gave people who came there, companies who came there,
Mm.
and they have said to be erasing said credit. And so 50 Cent chimed in on that. And so for those who don't know, because we didn't cover it, 50 Cent held a festival in Louisiana earlier this year. It was called Humor
Humor.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Um, it was this big event. There was a concert, festival situation. There was a celebrity basketball game. Um, and it was not in New Orleans. It was in Shreveport.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was in Shreveport. And so also that's where 50's Unit Studios is supposed to be.
Mhm.
Um, he had at the festival Dave Chappelle perform, Master P, The Baby, Flo Rida, as well as others. And in the celebrity basketball game, Bow Wow played, Two Chains played, Andrew Johnson played, and more. Um, and so he's been having talks with the governor and the mayor over there.
Mhm.
And so he also spoke about this. And so um, on November 13th, Louisiana's House of Representatives voted to repeal the $150 million film tax credit known as House Bill 2. My God, these ads will not let me read. And the bill is heading to the Senate floor now. And so 50 Cent addressed the news on social media.
Mhm.
Um, and he basically said, he's quoted as saying, "I know people in Shreveport are sick right now. Stay positive. Everything happens for a reason. I want to thank you for supporting me with Humor Harmony, having zero violent crimes for 16 days. Believe it or not, that made the event one of my biggest accomplishments." And so 50 shared a news clip of the mayor acknowledging that the credit cut is, quote, not a lot of good news. He said that he and Senate members are collaborating on a resolution. The mayor also highlighted how the change could affect 50's efforts with his unit studios,
Mhm.
which he established in Shreveport with the tax credit. Um, the mayor says, "I think we've all been looking at each other like he has not indicated that that this is an absolute deal killer, but he came here for that. Well, he came here to film, and obviously that's part of the calculus of that. So yes, it will likely have an impact on some of his decisions," he added. And it says last month, 50 had a meeting with the mayor and the governor to talk about the proposed tax cut. Um, and it says here his event, Humor Harmony, um, Humor and Harmony Weekend. It says it brought a significant boost to Shreveport's local economy and small businesses. Um, and that's it. I already told you most of the other stuff. One of the people from the so for those who don't know, just a little piece of credit, a little piece of history on the credit. The tax credit positioned Louisiana as a leading destination for filmmakers, drawing numerous productions to the state. Over the past decade, it has hosted more than 700 products, including films and TV series such as Interview with the Vampire, National Treasure, Nickel Boys, and the Iron Claw movie, just to name a few. And so um, there's one quote I wanted to read here. So this is from Representative Julie Emerson. She's the Republican chair of the Ways and Means Committee. She says we have to get to a point where we are more competitive to attract business so we stop losing our people. We're the only state in the South that's losing population. Um,
Okay.
So I think this is a really interesting situation, and it has some intersectionality of the things that we talk about here on this platform. Yes, 50 Cent is a rapper, but he is now a media mogul. He opened the studios, and we championed that some months ago.
Mhm.
And this could put that in jeopardy
Right.
because clearly he hasn't gotten the ball rolling. I mean, he got there earlier this year, right? So one can only do so much.
Yeah.
Trying to put together a major project like that, I would assume that he has not exactly been filming 7 films since then.
Right.
So, I think it's also smart of them to consider 50 and what he has done already in a short time frame for that city,
Yeah.
because not only has he brought star power, but he's brought money there. And so you want to make sure that you are conscious of the way that that affects your local economy when you're making these decisions. So I think this is a really interesting topic, because it is political, it is music, it is movies, it is TV, it is film, all in one shot. And so I thought it was worth talking about. I think it's really interesting that they're cutting the tax, and I think it's going to do them a disservice. Marvel films there. Even at one point, Marvel was filming the Falcon show over there. Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier was partly filmed in Louisiana. So this is stuff that's really recent,
Yep.
that's being filmed because of the tax credit and the things that are being offered by recording there, by filming there. And so I think this could affect Louisiana's economy in a large way. I think they got to get it together, and I hope that they're able to resolve the issue, not just for 50 Cent and G Unit Studios, but for the economy of Louisiana at large. I know that this has been something that for the last decade has helped Louisiana in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
And so I hope that they're able to figure it out.
I agree. I think everything you said hits the nail on the head. The only thing I would add to that is, um, this is very serious business dealings, but I do want to point out that the person you don't want to piss off is 50 Cent. And I would hate to see what happens to the powers that be of Shreveport and Louisiana if 50 Cent ultimately does not get to move forward with such a huge project. I am hopeful and I'm also optimistic that they will find some sort of solution because it is so huge of a project that it's not something you could just throw away. Um, but, you know, please have mercy on the people of Louisiana because if this man does not get what he wants, or if they make it impossible for him to get what he wants, that's probably the better way to say it. Especially if he finds someplace else to go where they are accommodating to him, he will not be kind.
Nope.
So I don't encourage that, and I'm not saying that because I think it's right to do, but I'm saying we know who this person is.
We've
Um,
seen his report card.
yeah, if he feels like throwing a tantrum, he will. So I would be curious to see how this plays out. I hope that he's able to move forward with it because, as I said, I think this is a beautiful thing that these artists and creators are doing. But yeah, there's a lot of red tape and there's a lot of logistics that go into doing something so big. So
Right.
we'll see how it plays out.
Indeed. Um, well, hopefully he just keeps grinding.
Hopefully. See what you did there.
Thanks. Go ahead, tell him.
Like Pusha T. Um, yeah.
So,
Oh, okay. Go
no,
for
if
it.
you got it, go, please.
I was just gonna say, Pusha T, much like a lot of rappers, I know you don't like when I say rappers, much like a lot of the rap gang, whatever we want to call them, is getting into the coffee business. I wonder why. Is it just that coffee is lucrative? It's kind of like cannabis, where it's just like a thing that people will always buy, and that's why they're all doing the same thing. I mean, that wasn't a hypothetical. That wasn't a rhetorical question. That was a real question. All right.
Um,
Well, okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to answer this.
Okay.
I think it's whack. I don't know the answer to your question. Um, I think it's whack that this is the wave. If people have if there is an authentic interest in this, then that's fine. But I think it's whack that like this is the new thing, and everybody's just starting coffee brands. Um, it did seem authentic with Jadakiss. I thought it was cool with Ghostface, and yeah, sure, it's catchy to call it grinding because of Pusha T's history and that record
Yeah,
with the clips.
definitely got you.
But it's like, oh, so everybody's just gonna have a coffee brand now.
It's a little strange that everybody's doing it, but I guess it's kind of like women in the hair care business.
Mhm.
Like, what black woman in Hollywood do you know that doesn't have a hair care line? Kind of the same thing, I think. Or like wines and, well, not even just wines, alcohol period is like a celebrity business.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just coffee is like the earthy version of, you know, vodka and prosecco and whatever else, cognac. Maybe it's just like the I'm grown and like I don't drink all the time, but I like coffee and people like coffee. And if people like coffee, I can make a lot of money off of coffee. I honestly don't know why Ghostface is doing it because his cafe is only open like one day a week for like 5 hours. I would love to hear more from him about why he opened that business because he can't possibly be making tons and tons of money. Maybe it really was a passion project of his. I don't know.
But
But
remember, he's got K cups and he ships internationally. So
absolutely. I'm just saying, as far as the whole cafe thing goes, because the cafe came before the K cups. So that that was odd to me discovering that it's only open for a few hours a week. It was kind of like, well, do you do that well? Maybe he does. I don't know. Um, Still haven't been.
me either. Pusha T says,
Hmm.
all my dreams and ideas start from my passions.
Okay.
Luckily, I have been able to find partnerships and platforms to help bring my visions to life.
Okay.
This is just a piece of me and how I start my day. That's what he wrote on social media for Grinding Coffee, which is described as a premium black coffee blend with Java files able to get their first taste of the brand at Tyler Creators Camp Flog Gnaw Festival this last weekend. In addition to the coffee, Pusha T also unveiled new merch, including t-shirts, hoodies, and totes, boasting the Grindin' Coffee logo.
I don't want that. And let me tell you why I don't want merch that says grinding. Do you remember the Rise and Grind community?
Yes.
I don't want any confusion walking around with a grinding tote bag. I don't want any confusion. I don't want anybody to think that I'm a part of the Rise and Grind community. Okay? You grind, you also rise, and that's fine. Both of those things can happen. But like that whole thing was weird on the internet, and so he can keep the merch. That's not gonna go into my collection. We know I love a good, love a good love a good pop culture moment. This is not going to be one of them for me. I would try the coffee. I like good coffee, but I don't want merch that says grinding.
It says Grinding Coffee.
Oh, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You know. You know. Were you a rising grinder?
I think for a little while, yeah.
That's why you've been so quiet.
I just don't feel very strongly about it either way, so I was letting you get your shit off.
I feel like it was a lot of people that weren't actually getting up and doing anything. I'm not saying that about you. I'm just saying it was a lot of people who really didn't have much to do that were rising and grinding, and it was, it's kind of like how they talk about people in Atlanta that like got all these businesses, but you never seen the business or anything about it. Same thing. I want to be a doer. I am a doer. I don't want anybody to get confused. But anyway, will you be wearing the merch or drinking the coffee?
I will not be doing either of the sort.
Oh, okay.
I would try Jadakiss coffee, and I've said that before. I'm not against that. Kiss Coffee, I think it's called.
Yeah, and
Kiss Cafe, I think it's called. Something
yeah,
like that.
I love that he did it with his family. I thought that was really sweet and really cool.
Right, and they spoke about how on multiple platforms how his dad is the person who's like the coffee expert,
Yeah,
the aficionado, and they're pairing up with him to do this.
yeah.
And so I thought that was great. It's also multi-generational.
Mm-hmm. I
You
love that.
know, Jadakiss dad, Jadakiss, and Jadakiss son,
Yeah.
and his name is J1, and so I think that's great. Uh, but this, I just feel like, all right, whatever, man. So coffee is the new trend. All right, fine.
It's a trend, but I also think, if people are starting thriving businesses, that's great too.
Sure.
I'm not gonna, walk to the ends of the earth to go to all of these cafes or drink all of these people's coffee. But like I said, I feel like the coffee business is becoming like the liquor business, like the hair care business. Everybody has
Good
one.
point.
Um,
You're right.
and they do they go where the money goes. And a lot of times celebrities are, and I don't know that this is the case, and it doesn't sound like it's the case with Jadakiss, but a lot of times there are these celebrities are approached by companies that want their name, and so they
Yeah.
collaborate with them on these brands. And I don't know again if this is what happened with Pusha T, but I guess if it's another stream of income, it's not the worst thing in the world, you know?
No, it's not the worst.
So I'm going to stick to my Nescafe and Cafe Bustelo. But, you know, if I end up at Camp Flogna one day,
It was just a weekend festival.
I know. Is it not annual?
Yes.
So that's what I mean. If I end up there one day and they're serving that coffee or someone else's, I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I'd eat anything right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let my hungry co-host go. You enjoy your weekend. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, listeners, viewers, subscribers. We will see y'all on Monday.
With Kendrick.
Yes.
Goodbye.